Hi, my name is Margarita, and I would like to talk to you guys about weeks 4 through 10 of my pregnancy. And I'm going to start off with week 4, where my husband and I find out we're pregnant, and we were really, really excited during this time, but we didn't want to tell anyone that we were pregnant just yet. Because at this time, it could either be a pregnancy, a hormonal pregnancy, or an ectopic pregnancy. So, what a hormonal pregnancy is when you have a fertilized egg and it doesn't want to attach to the uterine wall. And the reason why it could be is because it was either fertilized too early or too late. And so you will end up getting your period afterwards. It will give you a false positive because of that, because your body senses the fertilized egg, and so it starts producing all the hormones even though it has not attached to the uterine wall. The ectopic pregnancy is when the fertilized egg attaches to the fallopian tubes, and a baby cannot grow there, so you're going to have that removed. And again, it's too early at the time, so we didn't tell anyone, just in case it could be one of the three. And during the end of this week, I start having some implantation cramps and also some acid reflux. During this time, I start using more of my pregnancy pillow. If you cannot afford a pregnancy pillow, just get a very thin pillow and put it between your legs, and just use your normal pillow on your head, and try sleeping on your left side because of the how your stomach is. You have your esophagus here, and your stomach there, and so if you sleep on your right side, it's just easier for acid just to come out, and it's more painful. But if you sleep on your left side, it's harder. So it depends on how comfortable you want to be when you're sleeping. Okay, so week 5. During this week, I start getting really bad implantation cramps. They feel like period cramps. Pretty painful. And I understand why they're painful. It's pretty much a fertilized egg trying to find your blood vessels so you can supply blood to your baby. And so it's pretty much it just like burrowing its way through your uterine wall to find it. So it's a little painful. And so if you are freaking out because it feels like cramping, it's not, relax. Just give it a couple more days. Keep taking your pregnancy test to figure out if it is for sure a pregnancy or your period. Okay. And during the end of this week, I start throwing up. There is a lot of dry heaving involved dry heaving is when you don't throw up anything, but all your muscles are contracting, and it's pretty painful. And the vomiting, it happens during every meal, and again, not the best at this point at all. And I think that's the end of week 5. Week 6, I'm still vomiting again after every single meal. It is not great. I lose around 2 pounds during this week, just because, of course, I'm not having enough nutrition for myself in order to maintain my weight because of the vomiting. And during this week, I get to see my gynecologist, and it's actually pretty interesting that I had already had the appointment set months ago, and it was because we were going to talk about infertility treatments and all that other good stuff, and I got to go in for my pregnancy, so it is great. I went in exactly at 6 weeks pregnant, and so she is no longer my my gynecologist. She is my OBGYN, which is really, really great. And she tells me that for my vomiting, I need to take B6 vitamin. And it's great. I am taking that every single meal. It really helps with the vomiting. I used to throw up every single meal. I eat 3 times a day, and now I throw up usually once during the afternoon, like dinner time. I throw up, but it's okay. I would rather throw up once a day versus 3 times a day or more. So it is a lifesaver for me. A lot. Like, it's great. And at the middle of this week, I go back in to get a transvaginal sonogram, and I got to see my baby. It was really great. Like, I got to hear the heartbeat. It was just amazing. And the technician was able to print out a small picture for us to keep. And I really, really enjoyed it. My husband was there with me, and he was trying not to sweat his butt off, and it was pretty funny because it looked like he was on, like he didn't have much emotion. It was kind of, for me, it was funny. And during the end of this week, I start noticing that my emotions are actually lessening. I normally am a very emotional person. I cry a lot. I express myself emotionally a lot. I mean, that's just kind of how I was raised, and I've always been kind of an emotional person. And I'm losing a lot of it. And there's maybe the reason why is because of the B6 I'm taking. It helps with stress, so maybe it's linked to that, or maybe this pregnancy is just causing me to have less emotion. I don't know, but oh well. I mean, it's great. I'm not crying or anything. It's a pretty good pregnancy right now, so not too bad. And cravings. During this time, I'm craving apples. A lot of apples, but no apple juice. I hate apple juice for some odd reason. And so, apples, applesauce, apple pies, apple fritters, all of that, craving it. And I try having some, not all the time, but I try having it once every couple of days because I really do crave it. Okay, week 7, 8, 9, 10. It's pretty much the same thing here. And during week 7, the end of week 7, we tell everyone we're pregnant, and it's pretty exciting. I really can't keep a secret, and I like having support, especially when I feel like crap, and especially with the vomiting. I mean, and during this time, I start bloating at week 7. Oh God, Jesus, bloating, and yeah. So I like to talk to other people and hear what they have to say, and I'm hoping that they can help me. And yeah, so I suffered from bloating from week 7 all the way to at the beginning of week 10. And then my husband just told me, hey, take some Gas X. Hopefully it helps. And it was on my list of stuff that I could take while pregnant, so I took it. And it is amazing. Totally worth it. Before I was barely functional because I felt like my stomach was going to explode from all the gas that I had in my stomach, and it sucks. And I would ask, luckily my insurance, I have a consultant that I can call, and I talk to her like once every couple weeks, and I told her about my bloating, and she's like, she really had nothing to tell me. Because every single thing she recommended, I was already doing to prevent more bloating. And so it wasn't helping, but the Gas X really did. It is night and day difference, amazing. And yeah, and I will say that's pretty much all of I have to say about weeks of how I've been feeling. But I will tell you guys, when it comes to maternity wear, I started wearing maternity leggings around week 7. Again, the bloat is really bad. Like, it makes me protrude. It makes me look like I'm showing a lot earlier. I should not be even showing. I'm at week 10. And so my baby's still pretty small, like that big. And so I should not be showing. But I look like I'm showing, again, because of the bloating, and having something tight on my stomach was hurting. So I just bit the bullet and ended up getting some maternity leggings. I have not gotten other stuff that's maternity, but I will be getting pants soon, and shorts and dresses. And remember, a lot of the stuff for the maternity, you do not need to buy a maternity. You can just buy larger clothes if that fits your budget better, or if you like the look of it better, because some maternity clothes aren't the nicest and they don't look the greatest. So, I mean, it has gotten better, but if you prefer a larger size and the look of something, get it. I go thrifting a lot, so I usually just go for the larger size. So right now I'm at like a small, but I'm getting mediums and larges for when I get bigger. And I will say I do have an extender on my stomach, and I will show, and I'm hoping nothing shows. So right now, let's see. Let me move the chair. So yeah, so my stomach, this is all bloat. And even though I'm taking the Gas-X, I still get bloat. It's just not painful bloating. And I have an extender here. Of course, my pants are open. And it just helps my pants fit just a little bit better because, again, the bloat. So yeah, not fun when you're bloated. Again, do not feel bad if you have to do stuff like I do. I mean, I'm not. I stopped caring. I'm pregnant. I'm going through the worst part of it, which is the first trimester. So if anyone wants to judge me on doing this, they can go ahead, because I'm actually perfectly comfortable with doing this. I'd rather not trying to close these jeans. I probably can, but I'm not. I don't want to be in that type of pain. So yeah. So I hope someone enjoyed this, and I'll be posting every week now of my pregnancy separately instead of having to be all together. I'll see you guys next time.